Is this movie truly worth the hype?
Destiny. Who decides where we are born? The life we have.
Not already.
Welcome to Popcorn and Reels. My name is Focus the Batman, and I am going to be reviewing Jade Osiberu's Gangs of Lagos. Gangs of Lagos follows best friends Babalola, played by Tobi Bakre, Ife, played by Chike Osibuka, and Gift, played by Adesua Etomi-Wellington, who were born and raised in Isale Eko, where political affiliated gang rule the street. When rival gangs paint the street red with blood, Babalola, Ife, and Gift get caught up in a gang war, which leads to the uncovering of secrets that shakes the very foundation of Isale Eko and ultimately brings them to the realization of their dreams. Now, the first time I heard the title Gangs of Lagos, I was a little bit excited and a little bit skeptical because there is a UK TV series called Gangs of London, which had just completed its first season, I think, yes. And it was cool. It was cool. It was bloody, it was brutal, it was grotesque and all that. And it was fun to watch. So I was like, man, we're going to see something like that in a Nollywood setting. And I was really open to that. Now, this movie dropped and yay! Okay, I'm going to talk about some of the things I like and some of the things I didn't like. Or let me say, I'm going to talk about some of the things I appreciated about the movie, which I think the movie did right, that gave it some sense of enjoyability and entertainment value, okay? And then I'll check out some of the things that were like, they're like this in the movie. So starting off with the casting choices. Now, Tobi Bakre is cementing himself as an action man, you get. Last year's Brotherhood was just a banger. He was just kicking ass left and right. And then seeing him in this Gangs of Lagos was just, you know, another added jara. Gangs of Lagos was shot before Brotherhood. Well, you didn't know that? You didn't know? Well, now you do. Now, that's why Etomi-Wellington kicked some ass in this movie. I mean, not as terrible as she did back in the movie Mona. But, you know, she held her own. She was just this tomboy doing this gra-gra and all that. And it was refreshing to see her in that performance. Another person who gave a fantastic performance has to be Olarotimi Fakunle, the guy who played Kazim. Yeah, I mean, his villain nature was a little bit generic. He wasn't fleshed out and everything, but it was very delightful to see him. It was just fantastic, yeah. And other supporting characters do play their well admirably, from Choma Okpota, who gave a heart-breaking and heartwarming performance, and Zlatan, who was surprisingly funny, and then Black Camaro as terrible. All these guys really gave their all. And then there was the character of Nino, played by Tayo Fanera, and it was just, I mean, the guys brought their A game, and you could tell in the movie. Another highlight in which the movie can be commended is in its cinematography and lighting, production design, and some of the technicalities. I mean, the cinematography, the lighting was able to bring Isale Eko straight up as it felt like a character. Isale Eko felt like a character. I've never been to Isale Eko, but it was like a place where I could relate to, coupled with other elements that were able to strengthen the aesthetical appeal of a genre of this nature. But that is not to say the movie is flawless. Let me start off with some of the parts of Gangs of Lagos. Starting with the story itself. At 1 hour, 20 minutes into the movie, I was still wondering where this movie was going. I was like, wait, okay, we already established these characters, Ife, Gift, and Obalola, right? Who had dreams and aspiration of wanting to get out of the life they are in, you know, for something, to strive for something better. But somehow, during the course of the narrative, the movie just kind of forgot that it maybe established something like that, and all these characters were not even doing anything to just move forward. Like they just felt comfortable in the life they were living and just living the street life, living the gang life, and just doing their thing. I mean, what happened to, oh, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a musician, I want to be a musician's manager, and all that these kids had? I know some will say in real life things like that gets to change, or they'll say, oh, at 17, oh, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. At 18, I want to be a doctor. At 21, this one. At 25, hey, give it up for DJ Focus, yeah! And we know that, but they were designed, these characters were designed to feel as if they wanted to live the life. They wanted to live behind that life. Even Nino's character was like, he doesn't want this life anymore. But somehow, after one or two talks, he just felt comfortable. There was nothing driving him to like, oh man, I don't want to do this life again. And it was just somehow. Now let's talk about let's talk about some of the stunts and stunt choreography in the movie. For a guy who loves Jackie Chan, John Wick, and all those action classics, the fights were not well polished. They would have been better. I mean, it is far better than what we saw. Did I say sure? It was far better than what we saw in Shantytown, but still, it just felt unpolished, and you will see spaces between punches that were not hitting, and I felt it could have been done better, right? Like, yes, kudos to you guys. You tried the gore, the choreography, the blood, and everything, but I felt it could have been much, much better. So I would say there's still room for improvement to close up all those spaces between fake punches. Now, I've talked about performances and casting, right? Now, let's talk a little bit about the characterization. Now, when Obalola was introduced to us, he was this street smart kid who could do this, he was just like a James Bond in Isale Eko, right? That very sharp, to the point that there was this particular scene when after he was summoned, right? He said something about the woman already going to the police. And then he was asked, how did you know the woman went to the police? And then he said,
it took her too long to come to tell Baba. The police station is just 15 minutes away.
Without knowing, that was just like, oh man, this kid is a genius. And then that was just carried like this and like, whoop, into the dustbin, because he never had that kind of sense throughout his run in the entire movie. Like, why, man? You already established this kid, smart, sharp, even added a little bit of school in it. And then now you're having him just abandon all that and just settling for the street life. Street life. So like I said about the movie going on and on and on, I was like, what is the point? Where are you getting at? And then the last 30 minutes of the movie was just like, everything was just happening. Exposition here, backstabbing here, double crossing, everything. I was like, oh, okay, not bad. It feels rushed, but I kind of get where they're going. Like, I was now invested a little bit in the last 30 minutes of the movie, because it had everything just going. Like, oh, this, that. Like, okay, maybe if it had a little bit of this from the first act and the second act, maybe I would have been totally invested, but I was not, man, up until it lasted, like I said, last 30 minutes. And even the last 30 minutes of the movie,
oh boy, this Baba don't kill me.
Characters were just shooting left, right, and center without any reloading. I have to believe they are part of the Dominatoreto's family, because if those ones have never bought fuel in any filling station, these guys are not reloading any gun, and they just kept shooting left and right. There was chaos in that burial reception scene. Well, all in all, I would say the movie has entertainment value. The movie can be enjoyable to those people who wants to see something a little bit different. You know, I mean, not as if it's like that different, because King of Boys, like this, Shantytown, they just feel it has to be this blood, gore. It can be more. And kudos to Jade Osiberu. I must say, you try, eh? More no lie, you try. In the end, Gangs of Lagos flourishes in its cinematography, in its performance, in its cast, in its lighting, production design, and some other elements. There is something to enjoy for everybody, but it begs your patience as it roams around too long to deliver a compelling telling, and even with the decent performance, lays waste to any development of its characters and some abandoned subplot. The storyline is something you've seen probably many times, but you've not seen it like this through a Nollywood lens. So to be fair, the effort is absolutely commendable, but it doesn't withdraw the fact that it could have done better with a story and narrative structure. Gangs of Lagos had our curiosity but could never hold our attention. So, what do you think of our review? Do you agree? Do you not? Have you seen Gangs of Lagos? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't, for more movie and TV related content, make sure you subscribe to Popcorn and Reels, hit the bell icon to get notification whenever we drop a new video, and remember, whoever you are, wherever you are, never ever stop watching movies. Catch you guys soon. Peace! Oh, elevator. Chike's character took gun to go execute the barber, right? And then he didn't execute the barber and then left and went home. And on his way home, he was attacked by Terrible and his people. And when this guy was attacked, the first thing that came to my head was like, okay, he's going to pull out that gun and start, you know, at least take out one or two. And then the next thing, this motherfucker took out his phone and started calling. What?